Yo, it's your boy 1D215 back with another video. You know, we talk about how it's safe to say these times ain't the time to be dating for a lot of men. It's really not. For no man, really. But that goes especially to certain type of men. That goes especially to certain type of men. Because, like I said, we agree that it's not in your best interest to date right now because everything is so screwed up and messed up and it's just not good, right? But to my nice guys, and y'all know who y'all is, it's definitely not a time to be dating if you're a nice guy. We all know nice guys finish last. We talked about that before on this channel. But that's like the traditional way. Because nice guys been finishing last for decades. And decades upon decades. But now, not only is nice guys finishing last, they're not even in the race. They're not. And a lot of men don't even realize, or they think they don't realize that they're a nice guy. And there's ways to figure that out. It really is. There's ways to know if you're a nice guy. There are signs out there, fellas. And you don't ever want to be labeled the nice guy. Now, I say that and I say this. Never sway from being a nice person overall. Because if you ask me, that's the best way to be. Just for yourself, for your spirit, for your mental, for your psyche. All those things. So never change who you are if you consider yourself a nice guy. Don't change that, you know. But when we talk about nice guys and dating, oh, that just hits different. It hits different, you know. Because at this point, I believe, and it's just my opinion, that no woman wants a nice guy. Now, it ain't about what women want, because who cares? At the end of the day, a lot of it is nonsense and BS. But if we being real, no woman, not even the good women, want a nice guy at this point. Because they can be swayed too. Good women can be swayed too. They just can. So you nice guys, like I said, you're not finishing last because you're not even in the race at this point. If you out there, I know there's a lot of guys out there looking. And here's the thing. The reason why I bring this up, because I know a lot of you nice guys, and I'm not casting shadows. Go ahead. I'm not casting shadows because, like I said, overall, it's best to be a good person, a nice person. But I know a lot of nice men, y'all not out here doing what you do. A lot of y'all men is out here looking for that someone. And don't get it messed up. I'm not trying to deter people from looking. Just know that you're going to be looking for quite a long time. But I'm not going to deter nobody from being happy or what they think makes them happy. But y'all out here, y'all looking, and you looking in all the wrong places because it's just one of them things that is hard. It's hard for you men. Y'all make it harder on yourselves because you got that nice spirit about you. And those signs is there. Because simps and nice guys aren't the same thing, even though they somewhat go hand in hand. I wouldn't even be making this video for simps. Let simps be who they be and let them crash and burn. Let them be their own demise. Simps have no type of leg to stand on. But I know there's a lot of nice guys. You know, and y'all men are being, you know, put to the wayside. I gotta keep it a buck. You know, and like I said, you might not realize that you're a nice guy, but there's ways to tell. There's ways to tell. Like, if a woman thinks she can depend on you and y'all not exclusive, you're probably a nice guy. I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back that didn't hear me. If you have a woman out here thinking she can depend on you and you have no type of title, she's not your wife, she's not your girl, there's nothing going on, you're more than likely, I'm just saying, I could be wrong, but you're more than likely a nice guy. Should no woman be able to depend on you if y'all not exclusive? If y'all not a thing, she shouldn't be able to depend on you in no type of way. You feel me? And that's not being mean, that's just being real. I mean, especially to my young men, I'm gonna tell y'all something that y'all dad should have told y'all a long time ago. Should no woman depend on you, or if claim she could depend on you, if you don't have no type of anything, attachment in any type of way. Let's get that right off the bat. So more than likely, you a nice guy. If a woman calls you only when she wants something, you're probably a nice guy. Now, could she be wrong? Yes, and there's ways to, I'm gonna get to some ways to give a woman an understanding that maybe she got the wrong idea about you. But if a woman is calling you only for benefit in any type of way, it don't have to just be money. It could be an ear. It could be you the ones, you give her good advice. You solve problems, things of that nature. Not only do she probably consider you a nice guy, she done already friend zoned you, bruh. Because like I'm telling y'all, women, for the most part, don't mess with these nice guys. Now, overall, I think I'm a nice person. Would I say I'm a nice guy? Yes, I would say I'm a nice guy, but not in the way that we talking about now, if that makes sense. That's why a lot of men is probably on the fence with that. They feel as though, yeah, I'm a good stand-up dude, but I ain't no sucker, I ain't no simp. It ain't even about being a simp. It's just more of knowing what time it is and knowing how to move out here, gentlemen. That's more of what this is. So don't get my message misconstrued. It's okay being a good person. They're the only type of people I want around me. And that's the type of people y'all should want around y'all. But at the same time, it ain't given. If you out here doing this and that and doing this and that, and you ain't getting no results, bro, leave that alone. Leave it alone. If a woman feels though she can ask you randomly for rides and things of that nature, she look at you as a nice guy. Because here it is, in a nutshell. What I'm getting to is, if a woman don't deem you nice, consider a nice guy, she's not even going to ask you for these things unless she just meeting you and she get the wrong idea, and then you weed that out from the rip. Oh no, I ain't one of them bulls. You need what? Man, I barely know you. That happens with every man, whether he a good guy, in between guy, bad guy, whatever. That happens with every man, right? Because women don't be knowing, so they're gonna shoot their shot, in a way of speaking, of seeing where you coming from with it. But I'm talking about you guys that got established situationships with women, or they already got an idea of who you is. Y'all been talking for however long, and she coming at you left and right for favors and advice and all that. Nah, bruh. Chick ain't asking no dude that she don't deem that for no advice. She's just not. You guys are too nice. You gotta stop it. And this ain't stopping it for women's sake, because at the end of the day, who cares what a woman wants? A lot of these women are nonsensical. A lot of things that they want shouldn't move you either way. So this ain't to please women. Stop being a nice guy because women don't like nice guys. No, this ain't that. Don't be a nice guy for yourself. You're not going to get nowhere being a nice guy, whether it's with women or in life. You feel me? Be a good person, but all that other stuff, no. When you feel as though a woman is taking you there and putting you in that category as a nice guy, a simple block or a simple ignore will suffice. Them type of chicks you just gotta leave alone. They'll figure it out. Oh, he must don't. Yeah, I ain't on that. And that's how you handle that. To my men that don't know, because I know a lot of men out there do. You don't want to be pandering to these women. You don't want to be doing things for these women. You don't. And I stand on that because it's a real thing. There's a lot of nice men out here being used. It's happening every day. And they're not simps, they just nice people. But you don't want to get used by nobody, by anybody, not just women, by anybody. So all that nicey stuff, we gotta dead that. For my gentlemen that is on that, I know a lot of men nowadays, they see through the light. They like, man, every time this chick hit me up, it's something. Every time, no, you don't want to do that. Signs of not being a nice guy, I give y'all some, just right off the top of my head, because I know how I carry it. And not saying my ways is the 100% gospel, but me being a man for these years, I know what those traits are. And it don't mean you gotta be a toxic person. It don't mean you gotta be a bastard. It don't mean you gotta cuss women out. You don't have to do any of them things. You carry how you carry. Like I said, it's just one of them things that some men have with them and some don't. Some men have to learn to have. Some men have to grow into it. Me, I had it since as long as I can remember. You know, and I carry it as such. I'm not for a bunch of BS from anybody. This ain't just women. But there's ways to know. It's just ways to know. You know, not tolerating BS. That's a sign of not being a nice guy. You know, I'm not tolerating. I don't care if you come off as mean, brash, whatever. It is what it is. You a man, you stand on 10 toes down. That's how it should be. You're not tolerating no BS. Don't try too hard with women. At the end of the day, I tell you all the time, they're just women. They're human beings. I know they seem a little robotic because they all act alike, think alike. I get it. They are robots, but they also are human at the same time. So don't try so hard. You know, women can see that a mile away. For real. You know, be somewhat unpredictable. Not on purpose, but here's the thing. The way you carry it should be unpredictable. You don't want nobody knowing your every move. You don't want nobody knowing, oh, he's probably here. Oh, he's going to do this. Or he's going... No, be somewhat unpredictable. Because when you're predictable, that nice guy stuff tend to reign in their mind like, all right, I know. Should no woman know your schedule? Unless you married to her, y'all got a long, long relationship. Should no woman you've been on 3 months know your everyday routine? That predictable stuff, that will put you in the nice guy category real quick. Because it shouldn't even be that deep. You could be doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm just giving y'all stuff off the top of my head. Always have confidence. It's one thing to be cocky, but it's another thing to be confident. Every man should be confident in himself. You should. Even if you know your shortcomings, it don't matter. You should still have confidence. You should still hold your head up high. You should have a good posture to you when you're moving about. That's just being real. You know, and that's another one. Being real, being authentic. Don't nobody, people nowadays can see fakeness from a mile away. Don't be somebody you're not. Don't try too hard. Don't try to be this and that. Be who you are, but at the same time, be real and be authentic about it. Carry it that same way with everybody at all times. These are things that range true when, you know, stepping out here in this thing we call the world. This thing we call life is real, you know, so you don't want to be that. You know, you don't want to be no pushover. You don't want to be somebody that, you know, people look at and think they can do whatever to. These things, you just don't. You can't, here's a big one though, when it comes to the women. You can't care what a woman thinks. I'm going to say that one again. You cannot care what a woman thinks, whether it's about you or just in general. You can't worry about what she thinks. Whatever it's going to be is going to be. And it's going to get handled however it get handled. But you cannot care, especially what a woman thinks of you. You can't. You just can't. It will be your demise. Worried about every little thing she worried about? No. That's for nice guys. There we go. See, this is how I know this is true, because all these things I'm rattling off my head is like the way I carry it. And I know for sure these are things that women attribute with being a nice guy. You know, there's nothing wrong with being a solid person. I'm not saying go out here and be a bastard to women. It ain't that deep. Be yourself. Be comfortable in your own skin. Be confident, but not cocky. And just be a man. You know what I'm saying? And this message is more for my young men, because a lot of young men don't get solid game on a regular basis. It is what it is. That's just the times we live in, but it's true. Also for men of my age that just maybe carried a certain way, or maybe been in a long, because sometimes long relationships can take from your masculinity a little bit too. I do believe in that. A lot of men been in these long relationships and they don't even know if they still got it. They might have had it going into said relationship, and then by the time that relationship was over, they somewhat was compromised. And I get it. We are human. This ain't no slight. This ain't me demeaning anybody. We just talk real over here. We talking about how life works. And that's one of them. You know? But all that trying to please and pander and cape, you will be considered a nice guy. And at the end of the day, I will say this. Women will tolerate nice men. They'll deal with nice men because at the end of the day, being nice is a thing and people gravitate towards nice people for the most part. But let's keep it real. We talking about women here. And like I said, this ain't to cape the women, but if I'm being real, most women do not like nice men. For whatever reason. Do I think they right in that? No. But this ain't nothing that's modern. This been going on for years. Our parents was like this. Our grandparents was like this. They will tolerate you because you're a nice person. Will they respect you and will they yearn for you and will they lust after you? That's another story. I'm being real. That's another story. And it ain't about being toxic because I hear a lot of women like toxic men. And that is true. Women love toxic men. That's flat out wrong. Whether it's true or not, I don't agree with that premise. I don't agree with that outlook. But we ain't even talk about toxic because you never want to be a toxic person. You just can't be nice to these women. You can't. And any woman that's seeing this can sit there and talk about how I'm wrong and all this. I'm not wrong. Women don't like nice men. Plain and simple. They don't. They benefit off of them. They deal with them. They feed them from a long spoon. They tolerate their presence. They do. I get it. Because people will be like, well, you know, this person is nice and I'm with them. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But overall, y'all, I'm going to give it to y'all real. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. They don't, overall, in the grand scheme of things, whether they tolerate it or not. Women don't yearn for nice men. They just don't. And I want to get that message across in this video. I hope I can help somebody, whether it's young boy, young man, whoever, man of age, whoever. Like you gotta get with it, man, because you're in a losing battle. And as I say, you're not finishing last. You're not even in the race. You're not. At this point, especially now. If this was 15 years ago, I would be preaching the same thing, but it would be a little different. Times have changed. Even good women don't like nice guys. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm keeping it a buck, y'all. Y'all know me. But tell me what y'all think about this topic. Did I go overboard on it? Is I'm spot on with it? Because I lived on this great earth long enough. And I see things. Y'all know I'm very observant. And what's real is real. All that nice stuff is out the window. It's out the window. You can still be solid and be profound and stand 10 toes down without cussing the woman out, without being nasty or negative to her, without being toxic. This ain't that. I would never preach be toxic. I would never do that. Because I don't even want them type of people around me, let alone why would I spread that, to other people. So people just got to get the context of what I'm saying, right? But if you like videos like this, hit this video with a like. Share my video with your friends. Tap that notify bell so you can see when more videos like this come out. And until the next time, I'll see y'all on the next one.